Hey, what's going on, everyone? So like the last video, before we jump into yet another tournament match here, I just want to quickly show you guys where we are in the bracket. So today we will be watching my match versus Quanxi. I have never played him before, so I've got no idea what to expect, but he did take down what I would have assumed was a tournament favorite in Fofan last round. So I'm sure we probably have our work cut out for us here today. This will be a best of 3 game in round 3, and we will be playing mid-war. So we did make it at least so far here to the mid-war stage. So definitely exciting, and I hope you guys enjoy this one. All right. So here we have it. We are playing on the Hiakala map. This was actually my map pick. He did win coin flip. He did choose the Soviets, so we did end up with the Germans. Probably would have been a better choice going Finnish, maybe on this map. And after watching Smurf versus Hans, but we did end up going with the Germans, and we are playing as the offensive Germans because I figured if this is a long game, we're probably better off going with the Tiger. So to start, we rushed out a recon squad right to the middle, and truly, I didn't know where the spawns were. It looks like they're a little bit different than base game, because he beats me to middle coming from the east straight up, and he has numbers with me going as a recon squad, which is kind of crazy. We did pull up in Rifle Grenadier detachment as well, though, so that might have kind of skewed us slightly. But we send 2 guys out to our home point, the B point, and we're getting absolutely dominated in the middle by what appears to be an SMG squad. As we see that guy just runs straight around the corner and we just melt within seconds. So I'm going to pull up a Panzer Pioneer squad to the center with a flamethrower. Hopefully burn down some of these buildings and establish some type of defense here. KD-wise, it is not going in our favor. We're probably 1 to 8 now, 2 to 8 now. Lost our home point as well. Can't afford anything because this Doctrine's infantry is a little more expensive. So we got to go with a Landeshoots squad, all rifles. Get them out onto our home point, hopefully. And he's just absolutely dominating us to start here. I'm even going to use the flamethrower here to try to burn down some of the cover on my side of the point. So that's going to be really unfortunate for me. But we kind of got to do something. I'm doing the F5 attack command so that those guys will keep going towards the point and they'll stop and fire when they start taking shots, which they immediately do from this SMG infantry. And try to throw a smoke with the one guy that has them. And then trying to micro over here as well. We have to somehow push our way into the middle without taking too many losses, but this map was probably not the map to pick for Germany. I actually really like this map. We are calling in a 251 to the center to hopefully kind of stem the bleed here of our infantry and get some MG support up. But this map may have not been the choice for Germans, especially with all the dips in terrain. But I really do like this map. It's definitely one that I have a lot of success on, but the point in the middle is definitely different. I think the points on the outskirts are as well, maybe slightly different, slightly bigger. But the point in the middle is way smaller than it should be, in my opinion. So you're kind of just like funneling in, and I definitely don't like the fact that the spawns are flipped. Because instead of a chance of going for either point, it's almost like the Soviets with their numbers just get a very easy push on all 3 points right from the get-go. So I'm trying to bring the half-track around to help out my home point now. We've almost made it to the center point, and I'm going to bring this recon squad out to this far north point. So I want to put some pressure on his side to maybe relieve some on ours. I'm trying to see if there's any grenades laying around, because he's got guys just kind of bunched up in that building, which is also just conveniently in the point for him. So not the best. He's got another wave of infantry coming into the middle, and he also has guys just kind of hanging around his home point here, and we have to crest this little ridge. So I'm trying to get the machine guns set up to kind of deal with them. But recon guys have lower health than some of the others, so we are just getting absolutely shredded by PPSHs. Couple PPSHs that are just laying around. I'm going to bring up a new Panzer Pioneer squad onto my home point. And with tier 1, we do have a couple options. I'm trying to hear what he's got. I do see the light Vic out on the map. Looks like a T-70. So we do go with the Panzer 38T. Looks like he's pulling off quite a few guys from the middle, or it's a new squad, over to his north point to defend it. T-70 is going for the half track. From way downtown, it looks like. Crazy the distances and how far that looks comparatively. And I'm gonna go for him with the 38T. See if we can get the jump on him. We need to really keep the half track alive. And we do get first shot and look to do some damage. Well, he's getting very aggressive with it. And just pushing up, and I actually back up. And in the meantime, we are going to use the flamethrower to try to burn down this building, because it is just giving them cover. We've got quite a few guys in there. Pretty much all of our infantry in the middle is dead. I need to micro these guys a little bit better. I'm going to call in a Sturm Pioneer squad with another flamer into the middle. We're both just bouncing each other. Although it looks like he is able to pen us a little bit better than we can, I believe, here, unfortunately. And if I'm not microing it myself or not shooting, I don't know why that is. Maybe the terrain difference. So that is a bit annoying. I really can't afford to just micro the 38T. I'm going to call in another Panzer Shoot squad into the center as well. So I've got my point pretty much locked down now, but I do need to apply some pressure here to the center as we do lose the 38T while I'm microing this. So 38T is down. We should lose the half track here shortly, I would expect. But I really can't, again, deviate too much time. Finally look over, but we do go down, and our second squad is coming in, and we are now flipping the middle, which is perfect. So we are gonna hopefully equalize this. He had a very heavy push on us, and based on the main rev, it looks like he's also going for our home point. Looks like he had a BA-20 that rushed in, and we did take it out, thankfully. But now the T-70's rushing in here, and I've got really nothing to deal with it other than an AT rifle detachment, which I called up, and a couple guys with AT grenades, which I'm hoping will do something. We're just a bit behind on our throw there, which is so unfortunate. We really needed that. And the AT rifle guy is, for some reason, going all the way off the map. Away from the T-70. He went forward. That grenade would have been perfect, but it does not. He goes back, takes us out before I can get the second one off. Takes out the other guy running at him. We do put a shot in, but we don't stun him. And he just immediately rinses us, which is so unfortunate. So we're going to call in a second AT rifle detachment and a grenadier detachment again. Now he's making another push onto our home point, because it's so close to his spawn. Yeah, I really don't see what the advantage, where there's any, like, neutrality in the points, unfortunately, on this map. So I do think this map is a little biased towards the Soviets, considering they can spam out so much more cheap infantry. And he has another BA-20 coming up. So I'm going to try to get the AT rifle over to the right to deal with that. They're not sprinting, though, which is very annoying. We're still holding on to the middle. But we are now losing this point. The BA-20 goes down to an AT grenade. I'm going to try to use this rifle grenadier to hit the T-70 if we can. We get full wiped on this right side. And I'm going to bring in a Panzer Pioneer half-track onto that side to try to reinforce it and take it back. But it sucks that we have to waste our DP on this, because we do not have the means to kind of hold it at the moment. I don't want to keep wasting my DP, because if I go too deep before we even get to tier 2, I may overspend and not have enough for the Tiger if we make it to tier 3 at this point. But as of now, I feel like I'm fighting for my life. The Panzer Pioneers are coming up. Looks like on the minimap we were able to take out the T-70, thankfully. We are moving the half-track up as well. Hopefully we'll be able to retake our home point. But he's got another T-70 because he has just hasn't needed to buy anything. So we do have another T-70 now rolling up into our home point vicinity. He does one tap, the 251. We are recapping our home point though, and we are sustaining the middle for now. But he is making another large push here. Hopefully we can get a couple grenades off. But he also has guys spread out just in the point as well, unfortunately. So T-70's rolling up, support his infantry. We get a couple nice kills with the flamethrower. Trying to get this guy laying down behind the berm. And yet another BA-20. So we'll call in the offensive doctrines Panzer III that we get. We're also going to pull out the MG-42 with the belt fed. Or MG-34 actually with the belt fed from the half track. So we'll switch that over. And now he's heavily pushing this point. So first order of business, deal with the T-70. Hopefully we should have a better chance of taking them out than we did with the 38T. I'm gonna call in a recon squad. At least it's high number of infantry, just to reinforce this point if we can. We do gun the T-70. Either gun it or turret it. And he's backing off with that little rat BA-20. So we'll finish off the T-70 there. And we're going to try to dig in with a couple guys, if we can, in the center while we have a minor breathing point. But looks like he's already pulling in another squad here after just making that large push on our flank. We're going to move some of these guys up and try to get further up and out of this point. Because sitting back is obviously just kind of letting him push into the point every time. And he's just rolling the BA-20 through the middle, disrupting us. So now I'm trying to get the Panzer III up and over the dip in the terrain here to try to take this guy out. We hit the shed. Bounce up, of course. Gonna pull up a vet squad, try to get it into the middle. And we have been able to significantly push our forces up this point. So I'm trying to see where I can position them a little bit better to just kind of prevent him from coming in. And we are now at tier 3. So we got a couple cool callings, including an Aufklärungs platoon, which has Luke's. But we're actually going to go with the Bison. I feel like the Bison is the decent counter to the number of infantry. But we do see out in the distance a KV, unfortunately. So this Panzer III is not going to be able to do anything against that. Sturmpanzer might be able to if we can hide it behind terrain and get a lucky shot. And he's pushed up. Looks like he's going to go for the Panzer III, so I'm going to try a shot here. He's got range on us, though, unfortunately. And we hit the carcass of our half-track, and I just fired a fire, hoping that I hit. So now I'm trying to back it up. He is backing off, though. We're going to try to repair the Panzer III. The Rat BA-20 is still alive. I believe that's his 3rd or 4th one this game already. We put a shot that apparently doesn't kill that, but maybe crew stuns it. I don't know. I don't know how that didn't kill it. It was right next to it or whatever. And it just dodges. Runs right through and just starts shredding my infantry. Oh, look at that. Dodges 3 AT grenades. I don't know. And then I blow up the building because I'm getting very, very frustrated here that this guy's just able to do that. And then, of course, the Panzer III trying to run away does get turreted. It's like we are able to back it off, but now he's pushing up the KV. And fire one more shot with the Sturmpanzer, but I don't back it up when I should be. Trying to get another squad out. And of course, he just lobs a shell right on into the Bison, and it does go down. I'm going to try to repair that, but he does cook it off. So now I'm going to repair the Panzer III. So now we have even more to stress about. Because how to kill an unkillable tank. And we see a T-60 out on this flank. Which is just going to shred our infantry. The F1's not going to do it. The Luke's absolutely won't do it. Now I'm thinking I kind of have to bank up for another Bison and get lucky. Because I'm not going to be able to keep my infantry numbers up. Especially in middle. We're going to desperately try to hold him off here. And the Panzer III is up and running yet again. This guy doesn't get back in the tank for some reason. And I am going to bring it over onto the right flank to try to deal with that T-60 in advance. So even if I can kind of play for time in middle and just cap, decap, I'd take that over anything right now. But I also can't afford to lose my home point. I think he sees me somehow, so he is bugging off already. We're going to get a Grossdeutschland Pioneer squad up and running into the center. We're just behind on the T60 as he runs. Trying to keep my eye on the KV as he's absolutely trying to shoot me. So now we're going to back off behind this hill. And absolutely shredded in the center. And we're throwing TNTs, not even noticing. I can't really do anything against that KV. I can try to push it and try to get that T60 that's just shredding us, but that KV is just kind of sitting there. He pushes the T60 up pretty far. And I'm trying to shoot him through the remainder of that house. We do tag him. Shoot him again. Now he's got another BA-20 coming. Running right through the boys. We do get an AT grenade off, thankfully, though. And I don't know how he's got to be firing heat, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how that hits. That's twice he's done that now. Because I don't think he has an angle. I think he is firing over it. Because I'm pretty sure the berm there does give sufficient cover. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But we do call in a pack half track, pack 250. With a 2.8 on it to try to deal with the T60, shredding the infantry. We're also calling in a recon squad over onto the onto the left side, excuse me, to try to make a push that way. We've kind of stopped the bleed a bit, but he is bleeding us again here. We were kind of bringing it back. We lose sight of the T60, so I decide not to push up immediately. Trying to repair the Panzer III again. And he can already see me back behind the building. From what? I don't know. Maybe he has a guy in my spawn at this point. I wouldn't put it past it, but... very fishy. So at this rate, I'm just going to rush up the half track. Try to deal with the T60 if I can. We're just bouncing shots, unfortunately, though. And we do get to another Sturmpanzer. We're going to bring that in. See if while he's busy and distracted with maybe the half track, if we can try to take him out. But he has another BA-20 on that flank. And we do lose the half track. We've got reinforcements going into the middle at the same time. He's making a push onto our point. And we're taking a bad angle here, but it's really the only angle I can take since he'll see me. Looks like we have line of sight over it, but of course we do hit the building. And he is backing slightly up just to get a better shot, and he does hit us. And I've had enough. So we do call it. We didn't do terrible KD-wise, but at that rate, there's just nothing I can do to take out a KB. So he takes game one. Stupid map pick on our choice. Shouldn't have done it. Should have chosen this map. So we're now on to game two. And we take the Soviets, and we actually choose the same doctrine he had taken. We're going to try to replicate what he did, especially at the early onset of the game with his infantry. So he took the Germans. This is a very Axis-dominated map. It's very hard, I would say, to place the Allies on this map, because of the advantages that the Axis get with this kind of like hill position and the defensive terrain that I just highlighted there. And I can even hear like a Jeep rushing that point, which I hate because it means one of two things. He's either getting out there early to stop me from capping it, or he's going to destroy those walls. He actually doesn't destroy the walls this time around, like most players will do, because unlike in vanilla, that walled section is actually still in the point. So the Axis can do something cheesy and just like crawl an officer right up there, get guys right up there and still be capping. The Allies have the same kind of advantage on this back side of the point and with the building, but you don't really have the line of sight or the lines of fire onto the hill. So as we saw with Smurf versus Hans, the Jeep play was not the move, but of course, against me, why wouldn't it work, right? We get an early jump in the center though with the SMG squad that we call in, and we do kind of rinse his infantry there. We're barely hanging on to that home point, what is technically considered our home point. And looks like he's got a couple singles up on this hill for the C point. So if we can take out this guy, there may only be like one or two others. So we will start a cap there early. I pulled out an early AT rifle detachment just in case because of the last game with all the light vehicles that were kind of rolling around. And we're even going to put a molly on his building immediately, very early to get rid of that. But he's pushing far up into that southwest point, which is very annoying because that's going to be very hard to kind of retake. Especially with the MG Jeep just kind of up on that hill. We really kind of need to do something against that. But I'm calling in reinforcements to the C point. Trying to spray him down with a PPSH from long distance. But we just unfortunately don't kill anyone or destroy the Jeep or do anything really. I'm trying to move some of these guys up just into slightly better positions to get a better line of sight here, especially as we see a 221 roll up. We do have the AT rifle there, but he immediately direct controls it out of there, and he runs like a coward when he sees it. This guy plays BA-20s and 221s more than I've seen anyone ever do that, man. It is so frustrating to play against. Such a rat, dirty tactic. It works, but it's so stupid. Quick, fast, annoying vehicles that just, you know, roll around the map, shredding and running over infantry. Such a dumb way to play. And if you didn't know, yes, I'm very salty with how this is playing out. Because, I mean, look at this. He just rolls the vehicle up and around, and he's just destroying the infantry. And my guys are just getting absolutely shredded. No idea where the hell this AT rifle is going. He's following him, but he's like running through his back lines. We managed to get a shot off, but of course it's the PTRS. Or PTR, it's the single shot versus the autoloader AT rifle. And he's completely wiped the infantry on that southwest point now. So at this point, I decided to kind of go all in on his, what is technically his home point, the C flag here. I'm going to dig in the guys, and we're going to try to make a concentrated push into the middle. But, I mean, he's just has such a decent position up on that hill. And with that stupid-ass 221 just rolling around, he's able to just kind of cut me off. I called in a Dishka truck to try to deal with it. The Dishka's not really doing much. I'm going to call in a T-70 for my Doctrine Buy to try to help out with that as well. At this point, I have no idea what his Doctrine is, because I don't really know the Horten's infantry, especially for mid-war. We'll see what he does bring out in tier 1. The disc is just pinging off of the 221. I'll bring out another AT rifle section over to that hill point. I do not want to lose what is considered my only good home point at this point. So we're going to move up the Dishka as well onto the hill to try to just shred some of this infantry that's laying around. We're trying to make another push onto this point because I don't want to let him just kind of run through me there. And what looks like to be a half track, I believe, is rolling out in the distance. Tried to put a shot through the concrete building, but too light of a caliber to go through. Yeah, look at that. He destroyed all the walls that would have been my cover in the point. So now it's just open terrain. And there's the bike, a half track, and the 221 just lighting those guys up. So, I mean, they're toast. They're done. Not much I can do there. So I really kind of need to focus elsewhere and not go this side. So I'm just going to call in a couple singles just to make sure my flank doesn't get picked apart. And I don't get anyone back there just looking at my units as I spawn them. Which most good players will do if they get the advantage. He's making a big push into the center, and he's also smoking out up on the hill. And right as I decide to start moving back, there's an AT gun in the smoke. So I'm going to get the Dishka out of there. Fortunately, the T-70 is engine damage to end track, so we are going to lose it. So it looks like that's his DP calling, probably a half track with that AT gun. 4.7. We're going to smoke out our push, which is just over open ground, no cover terrain. And now he's bringing a half track, 251 by 17 up on our side. Or not 17-7. We do thankfully have an AT rifle there. And the AT grenades do pick them apart. But of course it doesn't die fully. And our push here is getting stopped by the 221 on the flank. We're able to get a couple guys in. He's crawling up slowly here. The 251 is just shredding our infantry because, of course, it's still alive, and the AT rifle is not taking him out. No idea why. And it's just rinsing the Dishka truck. 221 is pushing into the center. We called in a BA-20 to come and harass as well. And kind of do the same thing that he's doing to us. Because, right, if you can't beat him, join him. I'm going to try to bring it all the way around on his flank and try to get it over behind the AT gun if I could. But, of course, there is a push here. So now I immediately turn around and try to deal with this and just cause mayhem and panic. We do get pinged by the AT gun, so we will go down most likely there. We do die to an AT grenade. AT rifle's going against the 221 in the center. Not really doing much to it though. We're doing a little bit better in terms of point value by the near 10-minute mark. He's actually doing, he's got less points than we do, but he's in a way better position. And our SMG guys aren't, you know, obviously as effective on an open ranged map like this. So we kind of have to get close, which we unfortunately can't really do. But we'll try another push onto the left point just to not get complacent here. We've reinforced this section with some guards. And the Dishka is still there as well. Got a couple guys laying around just behind, and he is also using HE to try to take us out. So we're able to kind of hold them off here for the moment. But that AT gun is just going to be a major pain. I really have to get rid of that to be able to make a push anywhere. We're going to try to smoke out here, but we're just getting absolutely rinsed by a couple MG42s that he has set up. So he has a truck, probably for the AT gun to get it out quick. We're calling another guard section. I don't know if my mistake here is I'm calling in like elite infantry when I should just be kind of calling in like these cheap ass terrible squads, but I mean they just die so quick on an open map where I have to kind of run to get to him or do anything and I can't. So that squad just gets absolutely rinsed by dug in infantry and the 221 that's just rolling around. So we're going to call in another T60 from the Doctrine by. Doing the math, we still have enough for the KV, which I was going to do what he did to us in game 1. He's got a vet squad out in the open. I'm trying to set these guys up to shoot. And he hits the dirt right as we hit the dirt. But he's just got such a good position in the center. I don't really know what to do. And this 221 is now just hiding behind the building like a little rat. And if I move it around to the other side, he's just going to go back behind the building. The vision's a little far, in my opinion. The fact that he can see pretty much like... I mean, that's not halfway across the map, but he's reacting very quickly. Like he was on the last map. Trying to make a push here. And he's still trying to crawl into this point. And he's also got a flamer that I have to be a little careful of. He's a little slow getting his grenades off and readjusting to where we move. So we do take out the flamer at the very least. But we do lose the Dishka, unfortunately. And we can see on the mini-map and in the background there, he is moving the AT gun. Zito's CS. So you see him? Yeah, like normally you wouldn't be able to see that in vanilla. But I'm assuming it's from the guy in that building right there on the left. So we're going head on. Our first shot hits the ground, does some decent damage. Second shot misses just short. He's bouncing, thankfully. Third shot hits, takes out a couple crew. He engines us, which is so unfortunate. One guy left. And we do get a shot off and blow it up, thankfully, but he does take out the turret as well. So we can't even take advantage of this downtime. To start taking out some of the infantry with HE. We called in a second BA-20. Can't even take out this T-20. Or the 221. AT rifle's doing absolutely nothing against it. BA-20 is rolling through the middle, trying to clear out some of these guys. Of course, his AT rifle hits us, and then an AT grenade goes off. Takes us out. Gonna get some guard parachute guys out. As he has another 221. Got 3 221s out in the field right now. So annoying. And with tier 2, we do call in the KV-1S. So hopefully he won't be able to pen us like we were. And I have no idea what doctrine he is. for an AT gun like that. So hopefully he doesn't have anything that can do anything against us. The gun is back up on the T-70 at least. So we'll try to take out at least one of the 221s in the middle. But he's completely wiped us off on this right point. And we're now staring at the face of a potential 3 cap. In a very bad position all around here. I'm pushing up the infantry first. I don't want to really open myself up too much. I'm going to send a BA-20 over onto the left. It's got a 221 over on the right here of this point, and it looks like he's got an AT of some type. It's a Stug. That must be like all-around doctrine, I'm guessing. We rush the first shot and miss. He bounces. And he's smoking out, which is convenient for him. Trying to micro on this flank since we're able to kind of get in there at the moment at the very least. And of course, we get gunned. So the barrel goes down. He's rolling up the 221. We take another hit. The driver dies. We're crew stunned. And of course, hull broken. And I've had enough. So, call GG, immediately quit. And that is it. So, quick 2 games from us. Weren't able to come away with it, which is very unfortunate. So, hope you guys enjoyed regardless. That was not fun. But we'll check out the rest of the tournament matches as they come. Thanks for watching.